The AEM 21-8122DP and 21-8122 DC air intake system is engineered to add horsepower and reduce restriction compared to OEM air intakes, and it comes with a lifetime limited warranty. AEM intakes utilize a reusable dry flow air filter. These oil-free filters are durable and are very easy to clean. The AEM 21-8122DP and 21-8122 DC air intake fits 2011 Ford Mustang GT models with a 5.0-liter engine. See the AEM catalog or aemintakes.com for complete model list and details. This air intake system is not legal for highway use in California or other states adopting California emission standards. Check aemintakes.com for up-to-date information on emissions legality for specific parts on specific vehicles. AEM power testing showed an estimated power gain of 8 horsepower at 5,000 RPM with this air intake installed on a 2011 Ford Mustang GT with a 5.0-liter V8 engine. Actual results will vary depending on the condition of the vehicle, mileage, weather, and other variables. Here's a comparison of the Mustang sound on the dyno with the stock OEM system versus AEM's air intake. AEM air intakes come with detailed instructions with pictures and diagrams. AEM intakes are engineered for specific vehicles to produce a safe horsepower increase. Make sure vehicle is parked on level surface. Set parking brake. If engine has run in the past 2 hours, let it cool down. Disconnect negative battery terminal. Do not discard stock components after removal of factory system. Loosen and remove the 4 nuts securing the strut brace. Remove the strut brace. Remove the engine cover by lifting up on it from the front and releasing the 4 snap clips. Unplug the MAF sensor. First, pull back on the red latch, then squeeze to release the connector. Release the spring clamp on the sound tube using a pair of pliers. Lift up on the rubber support to release it from the OEM airbox. Release the crankcase vent tube from the nipple. Slide the gray clip to the side and pull on the connector to release it. Position the sound tube and crankcase vent tube out of the way. Loosen the hose clamp on the throttle body. Release the 2 airbox clips. Unclip the MAF sensor wire harness from the airbox lid. Remove the inlet tube from the throttle body and lift the airbox lid off the lower airbox. Remove the airbox and inlet tube assembly. Remove the M6 bolt securing the lower airbox. Then remove the lower airbox. When installing the intake system, do not completely tighten the hose clamps or mounting hardware until instructed to do so. Install the MAF sensor into the AEM intake pipe using the 2 supplied M4 bolts. Install the 3.5-inch coupler and 2 hose clamps onto the throttle body. Slide the coupler all the way onto the throttle body. Position the hose clamps as shown and tighten the throttle body side hose clamp. Install the rubber edge trim onto the AEM airbox's round inlet hole. If necessary, trim the edge trim for proper fitment. Install the rubber mount into the AEM airbox as shown. Thread the short stud of the rubber mount into the airbox's threaded hole, then hand tighten. Install the supplied grommet into the hole in the airbox. Install the 2 larger grommets into the holes in the inner fender area. Lower the AEM airbox into position as shown. Make sure that the large rectangular inlet engages the OEM air scoop. Guide the 2 bosses on the bottom of the AEM airbox into the grommets installed in Step 3G. Secure the airbox to the vehicle's frame using the supplied M6 bolt and washer. Install the AEM intake pipe. Make sure that the bracket engages the stud on the rubber mount. Insert the end of the AEM intake pipe into the throttle body coupler. Connect the OEM crankcase vent line to the AEM intake pipe by firmly pressing the connector onto the nipple until it clicks into place. Connect the sound tube to the AEM intake pipe and secure it in place with the OEM spring clamp. Plug the rubber support into the hole of the AEM airbox. Insert the 90-degree plastic connector into the hole located on the air filter top. Connect the supplied 5/32" hose to the 90-degree connector. Attach a hose clamp onto the air filter and lower it into the airbox. Feed the 5/32" hose up through the grommet from inside the airbox. Install the air filter onto the end of the AEM intake pipe and position the filter. Make sure that the pipe is bottomed out on the stops within the air filter. Once proper fitment of the air filter is achieved, secure the hose clamp. Connect the filter minder to the 5/32" hose. Install the filter minder by pressing it into the grommet installed in Step 3F. Secure the pipe bracket to the rubber mount with a supplied M6 nut and washer. Attach the MAF sensor harness connector to the MAF sensor. Adjust the intake pipe for best fitment, then tighten the M6 nut and remaining hose clamp. Install the AEM airbox lid using the 4 supplied M6 button head bolts and nylon washers. Reinstall the engine cover. Reinstall the strut brace and tighten all 4 nuts. Position the inlet pipes for the best fitment. Be sure that the pipes or any other components do not contact any part of the vehicle. Tighten the rubber mount, all bolts, and hose clamps. Check for proper hood clearance. Readjust pipes if necessary and retighten them. Inspect the engine bay for any loose tools and check that all fasteners that were moved or removed are properly tightened. Reconnect the negative battery terminal and start the engine. Let the vehicle idle for 3 minutes. Perform a final inspection before driving the vehicle. It will be necessary to check AEM air intakes periodically for realignment, clearance, and tightening of all connections. Failure to follow the above instructions or proper maintenance may void warranty. Go to AEMintakes.com to find products, download installation instructions, view dyno charts showing estimated horsepower gains, and for other product details.